Hello, everyone. We should be live. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching this live or if you're going to be watching this as a recording, we're back with another live stream, and the markets haven't been doing very well at the moment. Altcoins are still down, even though some are performing well, and some of those are coins that we have mentioned on Patreon. So we're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about the overall market. We're going to take a look at a few news pieces, and we're going to talk about the FOMC meeting. We're going to talk about the interest rates and kind of bring everyone up to speed as to what we should be expecting or what I'm expecting from the markets. So with the title, you can see we're going to be talking about RWA, which is going to be on par probably with the AI narrative by the end of the cycle. If not, it will be probably one of the top, or if not the top narrative in the next bull market. Larry Fink from BlackRock is pushing for tokenization hard. He's very bullish on tokenizing assets, and it's just a matter of time before this explodes. And a coin right now that's performing very well while the markets are dropping. This is breaking all-time high prices, and it's past $7 billion. Now, we've actually talked about Mantra, and we bought Mantra at 79 cents on Patreon. I believe that was sometime in July, probably, 2024, July, August. And then we ended up taking profits at $3 to $4. I think $3.50 and then $4.60. We sold our bags and we moved over to other assets that would potentially outperform. So it's done roughly a 2x since that. And we're going to take a look at the price action chart of Mantra. But this is the RWA narrative. So if you go to the CoinMarketCap page and you select RWA, they've actually moved RWA, I believe. Did they remove something from here? I think they shortened the Made in USA to just USA. BNB.Solana still top. Ecosystem memes are still the number one. So I'm not sure why they want to be pushing for memes. Obviously, there's some mutual benefits with Binance that is looking to generate more volume on its exchange. So therefore, it makes sense that they would put this on the first section until they think they can make more money with some other niches. And I say that because Binance owns CoinMarketCap. So if Binance wants to generate more volume or more hype for meme coins, it's going to promote meme coins on its CoinMarketCap website, which just makes sense. So I think that's the reason why memes are here in the number one spot in terms of hot narratives. And if you have any requests, any suggestions, let me know down below in the comments. And if you have any altcoins you want me to take a look at, start sending them in. We'll be taking a look at your requests by the end of the stream, as always. And any super chats are much appreciated as well. It feels like there is no alt season happening this time, says music to relieve stress and anxiety. I can understand how it would feel like that. I'm still expecting an alt season, and I'm going to show a few little metrics that would support that. But it always happens this way. Like, for example, in 2021, during the correction in June and July, people thought that we're not going to have a continuation of the bull market, even though we had gone past the massive alt season at that point. But it's just giving me flashbacks to that time period where people were very, very, were in disbelief, essentially, because of a massive correction. So we're going to take a look at some charts, but let's jump into the CoinMarketCap and take a look at the entire market. Now, Bitcoin has been in a sideways channel, essentially, and it's bouncing up and down between 90 and 100K. And people are finding that annoying, and they're unhappy with that. But it's just so funny that we get to 100K and people are still finding ways to be unhappy. And for the most part, they're unhappy because their altcoins have been underperforming. And my altcoins dropped quite a bit. We dropped quite a bit in my portfolio. But look at Mantra creeping up to the top 20 now. So if you look at Ondo, actually, Ondo has been holding up very, very nicely. The meme coin hype is probably past us. So if you're still trading meme coins, I would be very careful. With the most recent Argentinian meme coin, that Libra, I think it's called, and that whole sham, people lost millions of dollars with that. So I think that's going to be the last rug pull of the meme coin craze. And I think after that, people are going to start moving into other coins that are hopefully going to perform better than meme coins. But as for Dogecoin, I think maybe Dogecoin and some of the top ones, maybe Shiba Inu, these might still continue, but you won't have this sort of environment where you can put $500 into any meme coin and then make 10, 20, 30x in a few days, just by randomly selecting meme coins. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm still expecting some random meme coins to pop off here and there based on real life events. So if we have some sort of a massive event, some people are definitely going to create meme coins based on that event, as they've been doing for the past few years, and they're going to rug a bunch of people. So that's not going anywhere, in my opinion. Let's go to the Bitcoin chart. And let's see. So this is the most popular chart that I've been showing on all of my live streams. And you can see here, we bounced off the support of the trend line, and now we're moving up. So the idea is by the end of the bull market, we should be reaching the green trend line from the above. However, in this cycle, I don't know if that is going to be possible. And that is because it would take us to around $250,000 by May. And if you're looking at a top in September to November, that would be around 300,000. So I don't think we're doing a $300,000 Bitcoin in this cycle. That's just my opinion. And if we zoom in on this weekly chart, you can see Bitcoin is just going sideways. So it's in an accumulation stage. And I think this is our preparation before the last move to the upside. And my conservative expectation is that it's going to be 155,000, and that'll be it. I don't think that we're going to be breaking $200,000, and I would expect a lot of people to get very bullish with this next pump. So they're going to start raising their price targets higher and higher and higher and higher until everyone is essentially buying Bitcoin at 150, 160K. And by that point, most smart people are going to be out of the markets. And that's what I'm planning to do. I'm not planning to catch the absolute top for every altcoin or for Bitcoin. By the time we get to $155,000, I would probably be out of the markets. If not, I would maybe leave a small bag in some altcoins in case those continue, because what happened in the last cycle is that a lot of altcoins kept pumping and printing all-time highs after Bitcoin printed its all-time high in November 2021. So projects like Near Protocol pumped and printed its all-time high in January 2022. So Bitcoin is doing all right as long as it holds above the 20 weekly EMA. We should be good for continuation. And the 20 EMA is sitting at 89, around $90,000 essentially. And we're holding the 1.272 here at $95,500 as support on the large Fibonacci. If I just zoom out and show you how I got these numbers. So we took the bear market bottom here from November 2022, and we took the all-time high from November 2021. That gives us the 1.272 at $95,000. Okay. So that's another support that we keep touching, and we've been doing that since November. And then you have your 1.414 at $116,000 and your 1.618 at $155,000. $5,000. So Bitcoin is doing very well. And now what people are talking about a lot is Ethereum and the fact that it's underperforming. So if you go to my channel, we recently dropped a video on Ethereum, and I talked about some of the reasons why Ethereum is lagging behind. And a lot of people are expecting Ethereum to pick up towards this latter stage of the bull market. And there's some metrics that we're going to take a look at that kind of back that up, or at least give us an idea of what is possible with Ethereum. But it is definitely getting smoked by Solana in terms of DEX revenue. The DEXs on Solana are just destroying Ethereum. And it doesn't look like Ethereum is, at least at this point, doesn't look like Ethereum is, is going to have a massive bull market, but things can change. And especially if Twitter picks up and lots of people start pushing for ETH, and we know how that works. If a bunch of people just come around and start creating a narrative around a coin, it can easily start pumping. And we also, another thing to keep in mind is the Ethereum Foundation. Whenever it dumps its Ethereum, that usually is lining up with the local market top, whether it's a top in the middle of the bull market or whether it's the top of the bull market in general. Take a look at the Ethereum Foundation and try to track them and see when they're selling their ETH. And this video was from our Patreon. So it was dropped 7 days after the Patreon upload on YouTube. And the same goes for this video, the bull market top that we discussed. So I gave you 4 dates for 2025 based on calculations from previous cycles. So feel free to take a look at these 2 videos. And then we did a breakdown on Near's chart and Aptos's chart in the past 12 days. So make sure to take a look at those videos. But that's it for the introduction, so to speak, because I want to move into some Twitter posts. So this is coming out from the Federal Reserve. So Powell is saying that we thought inflation was transitory in 2021. And the comment here says, nobody believed you. And this is Radar with Archie. And this is essentially their way of trying to say, hey, we didn't know that printing all of this money was going to essentially increase the inflation and put our economy in the state that it is today. So this is why you don't believe these people. You don't believe the people that are in the government, because they can go back on their word and no one can do anything about it. Right? They change their goalposts. They're constantly giving us promises, and they're not holding up their end of the bargain. So I think it's time people start, taking everything they say with a grain of salt. And by they, I mean literally everyone in the government, without exception. So this next little section here is on how Bitcoin affects companies. So GameStop considering buying Bitcoin. This is coming from CNBS. GameStop has $4.6 billion in cash. That's per James from Invest Answers. Cash is a melting ice cube, which I agree with. So $4.6 billion in cash. And the CEO recently posted a photo with Michael Saylor. And look what happens to the price action just simply based on the speculation of them buying Bitcoin. They haven't even bought Bitcoin, but they went up 20%. This is their chart. And this is showing you the power of Bitcoin. This is showing you the power of Bitcoin. And this is not even the most bullish sentiment that we're in right now around crypto, or at least for altcoins. Everyone is still bullish on Bitcoin. And talking about being bullish on Bitcoin, 21 states are front-running Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve. So all of these states have already began the process of adopting a Bitcoin reserve. And this is amazing. Like 4 years ago, to think something like this is possible would be crazy. It would be crazy. And then once Trump finally does it, We'll see if that will mark some sort of a sell the news type of event. We'll see. We'll see if that happens within the first 100 days. But ultimately, I don't think the bull market is going to be reliant on a Bitcoin reserve. I think the alts will continue pumping, even if we don't have Trump's necessarily announcing a strategic reserve for Bitcoin or for digital currencies, the way they're calling it. If they do, obviously it's going to be a good thing. But I think if you look at this image here and you look at all the corporations and all the wealth funds that are buying into crypto, it's, you don't need a specific reserve from a specific person calling it in a specific way in order for Bitcoin to survive or continue, because Bitcoin has done incredibly well without the United States, and this is only accelerating things. Now, talking about the United States again, Las Vegas is going to be holding Bitcoin 2025 from May 27th until May 29th. And it's going to be interesting to see who are going to be attending and what sort of news we're going to be getting from that event. Because, again, with events like this, a lot of the times it is a sell the news type of event. So we could have a nice lead up to the event with Bitcoin surging, with altcoins going back into Altseason, and maybe someone says something that just crashes the prices. We don't know, right? We don't know, but this is something to keep in mind. But we'll definitely be looking forward to that event. I'm sure Trump will attend, even though I don't know. Now that he's president, I don't know if he'll have time to attend these smaller events. So DCG founder Barry Silbert, this is moving to a different post now, said that decentralized AI may be the next big era of cryptocurrency and its scale may exceed Bitcoin. DCG has invested $105 million in more than a dozen decentralized AI projects and plans to increase investments in 2025. And they link the CoinDesk article. And Alex Becker below that says, this aligns with my bias, therefore it's genius. So Alex Becker, obviously very bullish on AI coins. Amazon investing $100 billion into AI is massive, and that was recently announced. So the AI narrative is not going anywhere. I think the AI coins will recover, and especially if you got into some of the newer ones, I think we have a really good chance of breaking the local tops. Not all of them, obviously, we can't be 100% sure of every single coin. However, if you carefully pick some winners, you are probably going to do well. Now, we could have this massive move into May, and that may be the cycle top for a lot of altcoins, right? That's a possibility. Even though Bitcoin can continue pumping afterwards, some altcoins, like in the previous cycle, have printed their highs in April 2021, in May 2021, in August 2021, like Cardano, while Bitcoin printed its top in November 2021. So just because Bitcoin is still pumping doesn't mean that altcoins or specific altcoins are going to continue doing that. So you want to make sure you're taking profits with this next massive move to the upside. And this is another quote from Jerome Powell, but I couldn't find where he said this. But the post saying, Powell is saying, we would use quantitative easing only when rates are at zero. And again, you're going to take these things with a grain of salt, especially because I couldn't find the source for this. But let's assume he did say that. I mean, they say a lot of things. Jerome Powell has said a lot of things, and now he's trying to dance to Trump's whatever the term is, to his essentially he's trying, because Trump is pushing for interest rate cuts while Powell is against that, because he's saying we need to see what's going to happen with the economy. We need to see inflation going down a little bit before we can start cutting more rates. And now the labor market is also another big thing that Powell is focusing in on. And I think what he was saying is that, the labor market is not going to have a huge effect, or that's not one of our main things we're going to be focusing in on when we're going to be cutting rate. So right now, their expectation is 2 cuts for 2025. they could change that again because it was 4 cuts before, and it's just going back and forth. So you would just have to wait and see. There's no point in assuming this is going to be true or they're going to hold up their end of the bargain. And it's very likely that they're going to be cutting rates, and I do think it's going to be more than 2 times, because that's the whole policy that Trump wants to implement, and they probably would want to weaken the dollar at some point because it would benefit other countries. So let's see what happens. It's going to be very interesting, but it's been a crazy few weeks now with Trump already. So this is a bullish setup that we've been talking about, or this post has been talking about, and we mentioned Ethereum against Bitcoin. And this is coming from Cyclop, and this is the Bitcoin market dominance. We're going to take a look at that chart as well. But here they're covering the supply zone for the Bitcoin dominance chart. And this is essentially the percentage of the entire crypto market cap that is in Bitcoin. And the lower chart here is the Ethereum chart against Bitcoin. And this has obviously been in a massive downtrend since the all-time high prices of Bitcoin in 2021. So right now, this chart is in the demand zone. And the last time we were there was back in 2021. This was, I believe, January 2021, probably. And then we had that massive move to the upside. So when we get to the supply zone on the Bitcoin dominance chart, we start crashing, and this is when the Altseason occurs. And when we're in the demand zone on the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart, we start pumping, and that obviously brings all of the altcoins with Ethereum, because Ethereum is at the forefront of altcoins and the Altseason. And this is what this Twitter person is expecting, is that we're going to have a correction from the supply zone, and we're going to have a bounce from the demand zone down here, which is very possible. And we've talked about this on numerous occasions. So if you go to the Bitcoin dominance chart that I have been sharing with you, I gave you this massive zone here from 53 and 14 up to 57.5%. And then I gave you this level here at 63.96. And we wicked to that area on the Bitcoin dominance chart in the first week of February. And from there, it looks like we're going to be correcting down at least back to the 20 EMA on the weekly. But if we compare the top from December 2020, we also had a wick to the upside. And from there, we started dropping. So is it going to be the exact same scenario? Probably not. But we're going to be expecting somewhat of a similar situation here. So we're not going to be expecting a dump probably down to these 40% ranges. I would be expecting 44%. It's an okay level to drop down to. The markets are a little bit more mature than they were back in 2021. So I would say a 27% drop for Bitcoin in terms of dominance would be huge for altcoins. And I think once that happens, you want to be taking profits while the dominance is dropping, guys, because that will lead to the end of this bull market. And if you believe there will be no bear market for Bitcoin, that's fine, but there will still be a bear market correction for altcoins. So altcoins will get wrecked 90 to 99%. Look at how they're getting wrecked right now during a bull market. It's going to be worse during a bear market. So make sure you're taking profits. Very important. Of course, not financial advice. And let's open up the Bitcoin or the ETH against Bitcoin chart. And let's take a look at that zone that Cyclop was talking about. So you could just probably take that and, yeah. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant to do. So essentially, you take the local bottom from November 2020 and from December 2020. And we're back testing that exact same area right now. So yeah, ETH has been getting destroyed against Bitcoin, but it's possible things will take a 180-degree turn from here, and we'll have a move to the upside. Look at the weekly RSI on this. The weekly RSI has been in this downtrend since July 2023. Look at that resistance trend line there. Could probably add another trend line over here. So there's some, there's some confluence to this with the RSI as well. We're in this symmetrical triangle, and we would be expecting a break to the upside here into the overbought, which I think would lead into a quick all-time high for Ethereum, or at least a high for Ethereum. But I don't think I do think it's possible Ethereum is going to break its all-time high in this bull market. However, I don't know if it's going to get to $10,000 or $15,000 like a lot of people are expecting. I'd be much more conservative. Okay, and yeah, so what I did here on this Ethereum chart, this is the weekly from Bitstamp, is we took the Elliott wave 5-wave structure, and we started from the June 2022 local bottom, and that was our bottom at roughly $887. I remember that correction very clearly. So we had our wave 1, and this was our April 2023 top. We had our wave 2, which was the correction into October 2023. Then we had our wave 3, which was the top in March 2024, and we had a double top from there. Then we had a correction into September 2024. So the important thing here is that the candle closure of the wave 4 bottom was above the wave 1 local top. That's very important, because if the wave 4 correction went below the wave 1 high, that would invalidate the entire structure. And that hasn't happened. And I don't count the wicks here for this sort of analysis. And then we are in our wave 5, and wave 5 hopefully is going to take us to at least $5,000. We'll see. But I think once you have this next move for Ethereum, you definitely want to be taking profits. Okay? Because if you were in Solana this whole time, then you would have done much, much better. And Solana arguably is the #1 layer 1 at the moment. Yeah, so let me know what you think about Ethereum. I know a lot of people have Ethereum and they're upset with the price action. I don't have Ethereum, or actually I do have just a little bit for fees. I don't actually buy Ethereum to hold it. But yeah, let me know what are your thoughts on Ethereum. And then this is Alex Becker talking about his Ethereum and Solana bag. So this is very interesting. I'm fully out of Solana, all in on Ethereum and Cardano. And he likes to make fun of Cardano holders. RWA is going to be the power narrative. ETH, Cardano, XRP have the power here. Cardano has the most upside. So very weird that he's super bullish on Cardano now. And I'm actually in a short-term position on Cardano. I got in at like 69 cents, just a small position to kind of see what happens. The only reason I did that was because Charles Hoskinson was saying that February is going to be a very bullish month. And that means he's potentially going to be having some sort of an announcement, possibly a partnership with Microsoft, possibly some sort of a negotiations with the current administration, or at least a confirmation of the fact that they have been communicating. Anything like that would definitely pump the price. And when that pump comes in, I'm definitely going to just dump my Cardano, because I'm not planning to hold it for the long term. That's just a short-term trade that I have. So yeah, and I just wanted to point this out, that some people are moving out of Solana into Ethereum. And, Alex Becker has a lot of connections, so I'm not surprised if he, has some information about some event that is probably going to pump Cardano and or Ethereum. That's why he's kind of telling us that he's buying it because he wants to be at least semi-transparent. So he has to tell us that he's buying these things so that when he's selling them, it doesn't look like he's being deceitful or whatever. So he acknowledges that he's holding these coins essentially. Well, he didn't acknowledge that he's holding XRP, but he acknowledges that XRP has the power here. So yeah, let's see what happens. I definitely think Cardano has a little bit of upside left. I don't think it's going to $10 necessarily in this cycle. I could be wrong. Depends on the announcements that they have. But a Microsoft partnership would definitely be very, very bullish. Okay, so the last but not least, the last bit of information I want to give you is regarding the interest rates and the FOMC meeting. So the next one is coming on March 19th, and the current expectation is that we're going to have a no change once again. So 97% are expecting a no change, while 3% are expecting a 25 basis points cut. Now, if we go against all odds and the FOMC start cutting, or rather the Fed start cutting rates in March, that would be very bullish for the markets because that's not priced in. That would affect the markets in a positive way, and we would probably have a massive pump that could potentially kick off the alt season. Who knows? But the current expectation, and usually the expectation is always correct. And if 97% are expecting a no change, then we're most likely going to see a no change. Now, if we go to May 7th, 2025, that is when we're having our next FOMC meeting. So here we have an 81% saying that there will be no change in the interest rates. And then we have 18.5% expecting a 25 basis points cut. And we have 0.5% expecting a 50 basis points cut. I don't think we're getting a 50 basis points cut. I don't think that's happening. But the only FOMC meeting in 2025 where you're kind of starting to see more potential of a 25 basis points cut is in September 2025. And this is at the moment. And keep in mind, these numbers change all the time due to different events in the macro environment, due to things that Jerome Powell says, even things that Trump would say can affect this. So just because you see these numbers at these current values right now, actually in June, there is a good chance we're going to see a 25 basis points cut. Even a 50 basis points cut is at 7.5%. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But keep in mind, usually we do have a correction from May into July. So summer is not very bullish. Even during bull markets in 2021, we had a correction from May into July. And then from there, we started pumping into November. So it's going to be an interesting ride. 2025 is definitely looking interesting. And I'm expecting altcoins to start moving up, right? And this is a very good time to be dark cost averaging. So let's take a look at some of your comments. Cliche, very nice to have you on board. Thank you for joining us. Key part of Genopets, please. So I think this is your altcoin request. I'm assuming so. I haven't heard of Genopets. Sounds like a meme coin. So this essentially launched during the bull market top. This is on the BNB chain and Solana. Interesting. And by July 2026, their entire supply is going to be out in circulation. Right now, we're sitting at 75%. And they have monthly unlocks. Actually, November 2026 is going to be the last unlock. So Genopets is the world's first free-to-play move-to-earn NFT game on Solana that makes it fun and rewarding to live an active lifestyle. Genopets combines users' step data from their mobile device with blockchain play-to-earn economics, so players can earn crypto for taking action in real life as they explore the Genoverse involving and battling their Genopet. I don't think it's this one. Genopets is cool. It's a move to earn coin. Yeah, it's possible that move to earn, and when gaming comes back, I think that's when we'll have these coins pumping. It's very possible, but Cliche is saying that I don't think it's this one. So is it this? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's on CoinGecko. We can go to CoinGecko. Yeah, I'm not sure which one you're referring to specifically, but Genopets is could be an interesting pick if they've been building through the bear market and they're still alive. That is definitely a good sign. Okay, I don't want to log in. So home, game tokens, roadmap. Let's take a look at the roadmap. And they're in phase 2. This is coming 2024. So I think this wasn't even updated. The roadmap is not even updated, which is not a very good thing. So the team is doxed. That's nice. Yeah, so Kalisha, I'm not sure if you have the exact ticker for the project that you're looking at, because I don't see anything with Gene Kai or Gene KI. Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, if you find it, just leave a comment. We'll take a look at it. Link going more down. So let's take a look at Chainlink. Now, during the bear market, we were bullish on Chainlink, and we were advising everyone to look into it, and I was dollar cost averaging into Chainlink at these prices. And then we took profits when we had the pump, but this was a very good entry point. You had a lot of time to dollar cost average, and then you broke out, you back tested that as support, and now you moved up again. So Chainlink, the chart is looking very bullish. What's happening here on the weekly is that we opened a candle below the 20 EMA, and that is not a very good thing, because once you open the candle above the 20 EMA, that confirms that you're bullish, because if you're above the 20 EMA, you're in an uptrend, right? And then you are in this sort of suppressed area here. You were really compressed between the support trend line and the 20 EMA. So you had a massive pump from there. And this is our March local top. And look, when you open the candle below the 20 EMA, you have a continuation of the downtrend. So what is possible here is that we're going to dip down to this demand zone, or sorry, to this supply zone. This is going to be from $16.4 down to $13.12. And this is based on these resistance and support touches from December 2023 and January 2024. So if Chainlink ends up going down that low, this is a good area to be dollar cost averaging. Okay, and as you can see, we did have a wick down to that area. What happens with these wicks a lot of the time is that it's a looking glass to the future. So we have this wick, then we continue to the upside a little bit, and then we start crashing again, and then we come back down to the bottom of that wick, and we fill that entire space with candles over here. Okay, so you just end up coming back down to where the wick bottomed at. And that ends up being your actual local bottom before you start moving up. That does happen a lot of the times. But as long as we're holding this low from August 2024 at roughly 10 bucks, we should be good to go. So the chart here is looking very good. I don't know if it's going to be able to break $40 billion market cap, because historically only layer ones have broken past $40 billion. The only exception was Shiba Inu and I think Dogecoin as well, or am I mistaken? I could be mistaken about Doge. Let's quickly verify. No, yeah, Doge obviously was above 40 billion. Yeah. What am I saying? So Doge and Shiba, to my knowledge, are the only ones that weren't layer ones that passed a $40 billion market cap. But I think if any project is going to do that, Chainlink is going to be one of those projects. Chainlink is a beast, and I think it's going to be a safe altcoin to continue buying throughout the next bear market. Like if you're looking for a safe blue chip coin, Chainlink is going to be one of those. And I think it still has the potential to even get to $100 in this cycle, if I'm being honest. But that doesn't mean you don't have to be taking profits on future pumps. This just means we could potentially get there based on my technical analysis here. But just because the TA says that doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's just a probability, okay? With the government on blockchain, transparent and immutable, we could see what they do with funds. Well, the problem is that you're asking the government to put the government on the blockchain. As much as they want to be pro-Bitcoin, as much as they would like to be pro-innovation, they don't want to be anti-making money and anti- themselves, essentially. Because what you're saying is that you want the government to limit themselves and put everything they have on the blockchain. They can do it to a certain extent, but I don't see a world where the US government would be willing to essentially go full on digital so that we can monitor their transactions and see what they're buying. They're already getting called out on some trading that they're doing, right? A lot of politicians are aware of some events that are going to happen with certain companies, so they end up either selling, shorting the stock, and they make a lot of money from that. But obviously, it would be a good thing. I'm in full agreement, but it's just that I don't think that's a realistic expectation from the US government. Eagled. Let's take a look at Eagled. One of the better layer ones in the space. However, unfortunately, Eagled is breaking below our bear market bottoms here. So we're going to have to see something from Eagled where we really start generating volume and we really start breaking through these local tops. So I did exit my Eagled and I got Nosana because I think Nosana has more upside potential. A Solana GPU project is, definitely has more potential than a layer one because there's so many layer ones out there, so much competition. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that I wouldn't say Eagled is an OG coin. It's not a legacy coin yet. By the next cycle, it's going to be a legacy coin, but this hasn't been around through a full cycle before. So it pretty much got listed during the previous bull market. So what we're looking at right now is You would say this is a falling wedge, right? You could argue this is a falling wedge, but it's really not. It's just a symmetrical triangle. And what we need to see is a breakthrough. So we need to break the local top from March, or rather November 2024 and March 2024. And by breaking the March 2024 top, we're going to be breaking the August 2022 top, which is a very important level that we have discussed on numerous occasions for, a plethora of different coins, some of which have broken past their August 2022 high. Some of them still haven't, and Eagle is one of those that still hasn't done that. But I do think this is a good area to be dollar cost averaging into Eagle. If you're just looking for a safe, mid-cap altcoin, that is probably going to do well. But at this point, we can't really expect a new all-time high for Eagle because it has been underperforming against everything else in the market. Even Cardano is performing better than Eagle at this point. Best of virtuals, AIXBT or Vader, maybe Luna. That's a hard question, my friend, because I don't follow the virtuals projects that closely, but we can certainly take a look at some of them here. $18 million market cap for Luna. This one I heard was hyped up a lot, and the entire supply is out in circulation. So that is very good to see. Hold on. Okay. So it just takes you to their virtuals app. And it has a, how do I close this? How do I close this anime woman? Okay, there's no X. So you can use the Solana and base wallets. And this is essentially on virtuals where you can create your different AI agents. So Luna is just another AI agent. The other one was AIXBT. In fact, a good competitor to AIXBT is going to be Cookie. $181, and Cookie DAO is 72 million. So Cookie DAO is just a bit more lucrative to get into, more upside potential, but you can definitely look into AIXBT. It had a very good correction, more than 50%, I would say more than 60% probably from the local top in January 2025. So a lot of these AI projects are just cooling off, and they're probably going to come back with vengeance with this next alt season, guys. So AI and RWA are going to be the top two narratives. Bitcoin is pretty interesting. Should we do that? Wondering which one's better. Let's keep it like that for now. Pepecoin is pretty interesting. If you know the whole story about them being replaced by the new Pepe, I am aware of that. They created BasedAl with brains, etc. It's a whole system of operating AI agents bot. So are you saying Pepecoin is going to be pumping because of that, or what are you specifically implying? Yeah, so Pepecoin is the original one, 71 million, and the new Pepe is sitting at 4 billion. So this one came out after the original one. The other one was you mentioned was Vader, and even projects like Dasha are all sitting at really good prices. So Vader by Virtuals 27 million. I mean, if you want to bet on these AI agents, you can definitely do that. And this one is actually on the base chain. You can definitely do that. Just don't overexpose yourself to these projects. They're very risky, guys. Very risky. So if you're looking to put in $100, let's say into these specific Virtuals AI coins, maybe do 33% into each one of them. Right. Another one you can look into is Dasha. And this one has taken a crazy dip in terms of market cap. So it was sitting at 150-ish million. And then in November 2024, it got to 158. Now it's sitting at an $8 million market cap. So this is where you should be getting into these, because the risk to reward is actually in your favor. So if you put in $50 into this thing, let's say, and it continues dumping from there, you're not losing a lot of money, and the chances of it dumping 50% more are not very high. However, the chances of this seeing an upside of at least 100% are much higher. So let's say this does a 10x, takes you to $80 million or $86 million of market cap. So your $50 becomes $500. You can take out your initial investment and let the rest ride. And if you get back up to, let's say, the same all-time high prices, that'd be a 2x. So you'd be sitting at $900 from a $50 investment, which you took out at a 2x of that, or rather, let's say at a 10x. So there's lots of potential with these AI coins. But I would say don't only go into these Virtuals AI coins. There's a lot of different AI coins and GPU distribution coins that you want to be looking at. So try to be diversified, because let's say something happens to Virtuals and all of these Virtuals coins are going to dump very quickly. So you don't want to be fully exposed only to Virtuals coins. And thank you for the super chat, 305 CryptoBall. How high do you think Telcoin can go? So we recently did a breakdown of Telcoin on Patreon. We did a TA on that, a detailed TA on my expectation. But just to quickly give you an idea, which chart did I use for Telcoin? I think I used it. That's fine. We're gonna stick to this one. So this is the weekly chart for Telcoin, and it looks really good. The chart looks good. If we take a Fibonacci retracement from the bear market bottom and we take the Fib to the all-time high from May 2021, notice the date again, it's May 2021, where the bull market top for Bitcoin was all the way in November 2021. So all the way here, right? This is where Bitcoin peaked, and it was 6 months prior for Telcoin. That's what I'm saying. There will be a discrepancy between the peaks for some altcoins and Bitcoin. So you can't just specifically say, because you think Bitcoin has peaked, therefore all of the other altcoins have as well. It's not going to work like that. So what we can do here is we can add this trend line. And we've seen 3 retests of this white trend line. What's happening right now is we're breaking past that. We don't have the volume indicator here, but from what I've seen on the volume, it's not a lot of volume. Let's actually go to the... Yeah, so $15 million, it's not a lot of volume. They're not doing a lot of volume, but what we need to see is we need to see this volume, because if we have a lot of volume coming in, this will confirm the breakout above this resistance. So this resistance has been keeping us down since December 2022, We had another touch in March 2024, and then once again in November 2024. And now we're finally breaking through that. The RSI is moving into the overbought. And not only that, we are printing a bearish divergence. So the RSI is printing a lower high while the price action is printing a higher high. And this is not a very good sign. So what we need to see from here is a continuation of this pump. So we need to see this candle go up higher and higher to the point where the RSI breaks its local top here. Once that happens, this bearish divergence is invalidated. Okay, but if that doesn't happen and we continue maybe going sideways from here, that bearish divergence could take effect, and we could have a correction below the white resistance trend line. Well, now it's flipped to support, but we need to see it confirmed as support as well. So a back test of support here would be a very good touch, and we're not getting a lot of volume, so it's possible this is going to be a fake out, but I'm hoping it's not. So this is just what I'm seeing right now. And in terms of the local top, let's say this continues pumping, I could see us getting to 0.022 cents in the short to midterm, and that would be a good area to get out of Telcoin. Another thing to keep in mind is the fact that we're bouncing off of the 0.618. So usually when you set up a Fibonacci like this, right, you have your all-time high, and you have your bottom, or you have any sort of local top and bottom. You could use this local top and this local bottom and this local top. Any fractal you take, the 0.618 is going to be a very important resistance. And usually, if you reject that 0.618, if you run into it as resistance and you come crashing down, that is not a good sign. So if you don't break through this, there's a chance you're going to be coming back down and retesting previous support levels before you continue and break the 0.618. So what I'm saying is that we have broken above it here, as you can see, but we want to see how the weekly candle is going to close. If we close above the 0.618, that is going to be a really good move. That's going to be great, but we want to hold this up because by the time we get to Monday, or I think the candle is supposed to close today, I believe. But if we start dropping immediately before the closure and we close the candle below the white trend line, this will mean that this was all just a fake out and you were supposed to be taking profits here. You just don't know it yet. So that's what I'm seeing. I would say taking out your initial investment at this point in time is smart. Why? Is because firstly, from the bear market bottom, we're up 1,243% from that October 2023 low, or you could take the December 2023 low. The other thing is that we haven't been sitting at these prices since December 2021. Okay, so we broke past the March 2022 top, and now we're approaching the December 2021 top. So we're going to run into some resistance at some point. Yeah, so you want to be careful. I'm going to add a block here, and this will represent a area of demand, and we could definitely see a correction from there. Okay, so that's going to be from 0.015 down to 0.0130. If we take out this block with no issues and we get to the 0.786, I think the all-time high is not going to be far off from there. Okay. And if we take out the all-time high by the end of the cycle, I think the 1.272 is a potential target, but I think that's a little bit too far-fetched. From the current prices, that's another 1,200% to the upside. I don't think that's going to be too possible. Why? Is because we're already sitting at $1 billion market cap for Telcoin. Okay? It's already sitting at $1 billion market cap. So be conservative. I would say a 5x from here is a possibility. Okay, I'm not saying it's impossible. 5x from here is possible, and that will take us like a 400%. Will take us just past the all-time high, or maybe back to the all-time high. That would be my conservative expectation. So I would say don't expect 20-50 cents for Telcoin. Be conservative and try to take out most of the money out by the time you get to the all-time high. And you can leave a bag after that. That's fine. That's fine if you leave 10, 15%, see what happens after the all-time high. Tel is starting its first digital bank in the US. Yeah. That's, again, it could go much higher, could go to a $40, $50 billion market cap, but we haven't seen anything but layer ones get past $40 billion, except for 2 meme coins. So do you want to be betting against the odds like that? And it's not in any massive niche that's going to be very hype at the moment, right? They're not in RWA necessarily. Well, I guess they would be doing something with RWA. Let's go to their website. The Telcoin wallet. And they have working product already, which is good. Yeah, it doesn't seem that they're going to be involved with RWA. Yeah, it's just more related to mobile phones. But maybe you can let me know, CryptoBull, if they have anything regarding RWA. That would really start pushing them to the upside more. But I would say a retest of the previous all-time high is a possibility, and I wouldn't be, expecting more than that. CookieDAO looks good though. Thanks for looking. I think they're going to be huge also. Yes. The block runners is actually where I got CookieDAO from while they were sitting at $25 million market cap. I didn't buy into it, unfortunately. I didn't get the opportunity to do that. Let's bring us back up there. So I think BasedAl, Pepecoin are a good or a good system, RWA and AI mixed. Plus, it has meme coins involved. So this is BasedAl. This is what Billy BMac is talking about. The tokenomics are actually looking very good, but it's a relatively new project. It's almost been out for a year. And it doesn't have a lot of tier 1 centralized exchanges. So we don't have Binance, we don't have Kraken, we don't have Bybit, we don't have Coinbase, we don't have even Crypto.com. So with adoption, and I do think a lot of AI coins are going to start getting listed on these exchanges once the volume picks up again, because exchanges want that volume. If they're seeing that a lot of these AI coins are generating a lot of volume, they want that volume on their platforms, because that it's good to show, like, the more volume exchanges have, the better they look. And obviously they want to look as best as they can. So once the AI hype comes back, I think a lot of projects are going to start getting listed, and this will kick off a chain of listings for a lot of AI coins. But again, it doesn't mean that every single AI coin will be listed on Binance, but at least the top ones will. Like projects like Destra and Nosana, in my opinion, are going to be listed on Binance sooner rather than later. And I just want to have some water. Yes, this is a really big glass bottle. Three or five, I have not heard of Tel. I'll look into it. Yeah, so you can look into Tel, but the risk to reward at the moment is not as good as it was before. But again, look into their bank that they're starting and see what your potential is there. And they're not listed on Binance, by the way. So they have Bybit, they have BitGet, no Binance, no Kraken, no Coinbase, no Crypto.com. So there's lots of potential here in terms of listings. If you want to potentially buy and wait for a pump and you can set up some sell orders, you can do that. Telegraph didn't know the ticker. So Telegraph is the coin you were referring to? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're referring to here. Mexican Righteous Aethir. Let's take a look at Aethir. Another GPU distribution coin. This actually hasn't dropped that much in comparison to other coins. Let's just actually, I take that back. I was thinking of something else then. I take that back. So yeah, 60% correction at the moment, and the total correction was like 69%. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up a Fibonacci retracement from the local top in December 2024, and we're going to take the local bottom from October 2024. Just want to make sure I get this right. There we go. And look how this played out. Actually played out pretty good. The 1.618 was perfectly retested at 0.0289 cents. Great entry point. The 1.414 was just right above that at 0.0334 cents. And then the 1.272 Fibonacci, which was our minimal target to the downside, is at 0.0369 cents. And that's where we're sitting at right now. So this is a good buying opportunity for anyone who's looking to buy into Aethir. And for those of you who don't know, Aethir is a GPU distribution project. So Aethir is revolutionizing DePIN with its advanced and distributed enterprise-grade GPU compute infrastructure tailored for AI and gaming. Aethir aims to serve enterprise AI clients who need the world's most powerful AI chips, such as NVIDIA and NVIDIA H100s, and support hundreds of thousands of cloud gaming players with best-in-class experience around the world. All of this is accomplished with a decentralized architecture, bringing the GPU cloud to the community and making computing accessible for all. The only issue is their tokenomics. They're not incredibly well. Not very good tokenomics, I mean. So they're in both in the AI and gaming industries or categories, which is really good. So this is one of the, I am invested in Aethir. So I would say this is a good time to be dollar cost averaging into Aethir. Look, February 12th, Aethir announces its expansion to the Solana network. Look, they're on Solana now. Actually, I might move Aethir to my ledger now then, because I don't like holding ETH coins on my ledger, but if it's now on Solana, that's very good. So this is their official tweet about their expansion to Solana. That's right, Aethir is expanding to Solana. This deployment connects Aethir with the incredible Solana community and its builders, unlocking a new wave of possibilities for collaborations and growth across sectors such as AI agents, gaming, RWA, and DeFi. Many AI agents cohorts on Solana, including AI16, Elisa, and Hey Anon AI, Top Hat 1, are already supported by our $100 million ecosystem fund. So this is, yeah, Solana is a beast of a chain, without a shadow of a doubt. So we were covering Solana during the bear market, but unfortunately I did not buy into it because I was trying to play it safe because of the the FUD from FTX. So if you look at this daily chart and we go to Solana and we zoom out and we go to 2022 bear market bottoms, we were covering all of this and we were giving you the buying opportunities. So I was saying, if you're bullish on Solana, you can start buying in at these levels. And we gave you all of these patterns, all of these support levels and supply zones. So yeah, but Solana is definitely something that I will be looking at in the next bear market. I probably won't buy Ethereum. I'm going to buy Solana and once again buy Chainlink. LOL, I bought Cookie just before it pooped itself. And I think they increased the circulating supply of their tokens. That's why the market cap is now higher than it was at the same price as before. But I think it has potential. I don't think you're necessarily going to lose your money. Mexican Righteous is asking for Altura. So I think this is going to be the last coin we cover. Actually, before we do that, I quickly want to go into the Altseason index. Okay. And we're just going sideways here. And for those of you who don't know, this is the altcoin season index. And what it does is it takes the past 90 days. And if I think the top 75 or top 50 altcoins perform better than Bitcoin, that constitutes it as an alt season in the past 90 days, of course. So right now, Bitcoin is here. So we have some coins that are underperforming Bitcoin. Now, once this starts moving up, once we are above 75 on this index, that means we are in an alt season. Once we are in the middle, it's kind of a 50-50 split. But if we're below 25, we're in Bitcoin season, which is what we were in throughout the second half of 2024. And then we had this quick alt season in November to December, but it was very quick. Nothing like we've seen before. If you take a look at the alt season that we had from July 2022 into September 2022, during a bear market, that was a quicker alt season than the one we've seen in, from October into December. And then you take a look at the alt season that we've had since November, December 2020 into May, April 2021, that was roughly 140 days per my calculations. That was a 140-day alt season. So I would be expecting our next alt season to be at least 100 days. So that's slightly more than 3 months. And in my opinion, that would be the blow off top for a lot of altcoins. But let's go ahead and take a look at Altura. That is probably going to be our last coin for today. We've been going on for an hour and 13 minutes at this point. So Altura is a really good gaming coin. They're moving into the AI niche as well. They're on Base, BNB, and Ethereum. We were getting into this thing throughout the bear market here, and my average is at 3.5 cents. Right now, we're sitting at almost 7 cents. And they're not listed on Binance, okay? They're not listed on Bybit. We don't have Kraken. We don't have Coinbase. So listings are going to be a huge factor for this. Once we have that, I think that's where we're going to see a massive pump, and possibly we could get to a 300 to 400 to $500 million market cap for Altura. And we did an exit strategy for this already on our Patreon. So if you haven't checked out our Patreon, make sure to take a look at that. The link is down below in the description. And from this screenshot here, if I just remove that quickly. So we have 997 posts on Patreon, okay? And you can get access to all of that for 7 days for absolutely free. So that includes our portfolios, our trade alerts, our low cap gems. We have more than 100 low cap gem videos. That includes our exit strategies. Most recently, we did one for Alchemy Pay. So if you're interested into that sort of content, and if you want to have a lot, requests that you can send me, and some altcoins, some video suggestions, I can do those for you on Patreon. So make sure to take a look at all of that. And plus, we drop videos early here that are released a week later on YouTube. So if you want early access to time-sensitive content, that's also where you want to be at. And we have a lot of different tiers for different, types of investments into yourself, because I consider this an investment into yourself, because you're gaining information and you're saving time on research by using someone else's content, right? That it's a transactional partnership at the end of the day, and I help you save time, and you obviously support me in a financial way, which I'm very grateful for. We've had a lot of patrons, and we've been running it since October 2021. We've had people there since October 2021, and I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, so that's a quick little segue into my Patreon. But going back to Altura, let's jump into the price action chart. And let's go, so that's the daily. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, so this is the weekly chart, and it's actually a very bullish chart. The bear market bottom was back in January 2023 below a cent, and right now we're up 755%. At the local top, we were up 2,000%, okay? And I was buying Altura probably throughout September, August 2023. Then we saw this upside into February 2024, then another crash. So this was actually a very big crash for Altura. 81% crash. From here, we're seeing a 66% crash. So this is just crazy volatility. But I do think we're going to be breaking past the all-time high for Altura. I do think we're going to be seeing at least a $500 million market cap for Altura. And right now we are in this new supply zone. So this was our support back in February and March 2022. Then we retested this area as resistance in 2024. Subsequently, we had a correction from there, and now we broke past that block and we're retesting it as support. So this is going to be a good area of consolidation before we have our next breakout. And I think the next breakout will take us past this white trend line. So if you pay attention, you have this white ascending diagonal resistance trend line that has been keeping us down for a very long time, since August 2022. With our next pump, I'm hoping we're going to break that, and that will lead into a new all-time high, okay? Especially if we have a listing on a major exchange, I think that will cause a massive, massive surge in demand for Altura. Plus, Alex Becker is bullish on Altura. He's buying Altura, or he's already bought Altura. So once he starts mentioning it, that will also add to the hype and the demand of this project. The only negative thing at the moment is that we are below the 20 EMA. A lot of coins are. And if we go to the monthly, so for the monthly, we're actually looking pretty bullish here, because we are at the 20 EMA essentially. We're just back testing the monthly 20 EMA. And look at the monthly RSI. This is still not a sign of a blow off top for Altura. So once we start doing something like this, that's when you know you have to be taking profits. So that's what we're waiting for on the weekly chart. And you can see here we are in a broadening ascending wedge. Okay, and usually with a pattern like this, you'd see a break to the downside. However, considering the market that we're in, I would be expecting an invalidation of this pattern and a break to the upside. Okay, and that's going to be it for our Altura breakdown. And obviously right now we have a very good buying opportunity. If you're bullish on gaming and AI and Alex Becker type coins, then Altura is one you should be paying attention to. And if you want to, be in a community where we like sharing a lot of useful information, and if you want to be getting coins like Altura during these bear market prices, then make sure to follow us on Patreon. We're going to be sweeping the lows during the next bear market once again, and we're gonna use everything we've learned from this cycle, from the previous cycle, and we're going to apply that in the next cycle, and hopefully multiply our profits from this cycle. And yeah, that's the plan. Let me know if you have any suggestions, guys, and let me know if you enjoyed the live stream. I tried to make it as knowledgeable for you as possible, just so you can at least learn one new thing. And anything you disagree with, definitely let me know down below in the comments. I'm always interested in other opinions. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and have a good day.